you can eat your cereal or you can go hungry and you can start getting intense. This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. Got some questions to answer today for the Power Project in regards to strength training, and also have some awesome footage for you guys of my CrossFitians going at it hard with a Strongman WOD after they hit up some squats and after they hit up some deadlifts. We got Blair Morrison and Alderman. These are two very high-level CrossFitian athletes, and so I wanted to share that with you guys so you guys can kind of see some of the stuff these guys are doing. They're able to handle a tremendous amount of volume, a tremendous amount of work in one day. Like I mentioned, they hit up some squatting, hit up some deadlifting, and then they were able to do some stone lifts with a 175-pound stone. They were shouldering the stone. Then they were doing a one-arm bent-over row, and then in between that, they were doing they were dragging the sled. Now, a lot of times people have questions about how I actually train these guys. We only meet once a week, so I have them alternating back and forth between a heavy squat and a heavy deadlift. So a heavy squat one week, heavy deadlift the next. But when we do a heavy squat first, we normally do a light deadlift afterwards, and so on. So it keeps flip-flopping back and forth. They always squat and they always deadlift. And one of the reasons for that is I feel that they need more practice at it. I feel they need to get more comfortable with it. They need to get more comfortable with doing things they are currently uncomfortable with. So that's the reason why we do that type of stuff. We don't normally do any conditioning work whatsoever, but that is going to change. I wanted to really introduce a lot of this strength stuff to them first. I wanted to have them adapt to it a little bit better before we started to introduce a little bit of conditioning work. The other thing to keep in mind with both these athletes is that these guys recover extremely well. So they're able to handle quite a bit, maybe quite a bit more than some of you out there. Now the question is, and this question is from Alderman, who I actually train, who you'll see in the footage here. He owns CrossFit Gold in Natomas and owns CrossFit in Woodland as well. And his question is about how often should a CrossFitter train heavy? How often should they do like max effort work? I would say in the power lifts, bench, squat, and deadlift, I would say a minimum of about once a week, not in all three lifts, but at least one lift. Yes, and even some bench pressing. I just think that bench pressing should substitute an overhead press here and there, or even be in addition to some overhead work for a particular day. Also with squatting and deadlifting, I would recommend, as I mentioned earlier, kind of rotating which one you go heavy on every other week, or kind of block off a period of time, a short period of time, 2 or 3 weeks in a row, where you're kind of pushing the squat or pushing the deadlift. It's also important to do speed work, though, as well. Ben had a question about speed work. How important is it really for a CrossFitian to do speed work? Well, speed complements the max effort work. There's been a lot of controversy about this online lately, and I myself have told people to kind of stray away from traditional style of speed work just because I thought there was a misunderstanding of some of the information that was out there. A lot of people were taking these percentages that were given by Louis Simmons years ago, or just seeing one written thing by Louis Simmons and just taking that and running with it and thinking that you only needed to use 50% with no accommodating resistance. Accommodating resistance is bands and chains and so on. And so the confusion, I guess, sparked up from that. Gifted lifters that are super strong, guys that are lifting in powerlifting gear, they can oftentimes train with 40, 50% of their max. But for individuals that are newer, individuals that are weaker, they are going to have to use a much larger percentage, sometimes 60, 70, and sometimes even up around 80% of their max. Will have to be used on a dynamic effort day. But the dynamic effort day, always keep in mind of your intent. If you can keep in mind the intent of the day, then you can't go wrong. If you're trying to lift the most amount of weight for the day in a max effort day, how many warm-ups are you going to do? You're going to do the least amount of warm-ups to get you the best results without getting hurt, correct? Okay, we can all agree on that, right? So now, if the main intent and the main goal of the day is to move the weights as fast as possible, but still work really hard, still work your ass off, still get your breath going, still get blown up from the workout, and have impeccable form, continue to refine your form throughout the workout so the form, is crucial and force production is crucial. Those two things are the main things that we're focusing on. We're focusing on explosive training. You just say it that way so it's less confusing to some of you. Everybody knows what explosiveness is. Jumping up onto a table would be an example. Doing a box jump would be an example. You can't jump up onto a box slowly, right? So keep that in mind. What is the intent? What is the goal of the day? Speed training can be very effective and has been very effective for many CrossFit athletes. So when you're going to implement speed training, just make sure you have a weight that is optimal and a weight that is not maximal. And you also don't want a weight that's too light. But even if you cautioned on the weight being too light, I would even say that it's just a break from your normal training and the normal daily grind, and you're still working on your form. Sometimes it's okay. It's okay to go in there and practice your trade and get better at it and not necessarily lift more weight or break times or break records or what have you. Anyway, enjoy the footage, and that is it from supertraining.tv. Nice.
You can alternate shoulders or just one go with one. I'll just go one. When you're starting with one side.
Yeah, so off balance. There you go. His body hates round even on these.
He calls that rounding. That's not even very much rounding.
Yeah, no, he's still not rounded.
Like 225.
Yeah, he got some thoracic rounding.
Two more. Lap it, lap it.
Come on, Blair. Get some speed. There you go. There you go. Good.
That's 5. That's 4. All right.
Get your air. Come on now. Get it moving. There you go. Nice work.
Come on your toes when you throw your hips so far forward, you can on your toes too.
I just started doing that. How do you get into these?
So if you had a girlfriend that weighed 195, you'd be screwed, right?
Let's just go 10 to 10. We'll just put our hands on our
knee?
Yeah.
Ben Alderman, this is just part of his bicep workout. Bodybuilder Strongman WOD here. There you go. Nice. See the guns. Gun show. Damn, yo. 22s.
Heavier one?
Yeah.
5 plates. It's like 15 pounds body weight you're dragging.
What do you think? 3 times through leg or 2?
I think 3. It's taking me a while.
It's kind of light.
You have all that training, all those years of picking up fat bitches.
Wow.
You didn't think I knew about that, huh?
You're insinuating. That's not the deal.
Yeah, some of this will have to be edited for profanity.
Yeah, nobody needs to know about that information. Not like 7,000 power traffic viewers.
It's 10,000.
What is 7 power project viewers or whatever?
Just me clicking on it over and over and over again. Nice work. There you go.
What's that? That's 4. 4!
A little bit sloppy.
It's a freaking Atlas stone.
Nice work. That'll get the old lungs going, huh?
I'm just trying to go alternate. I don't remember what side I ended on.
Whatever. Nice. Hell yeah, there you go. Good.
Ha.
Put some Rocky music on this bitch. Be sick.